Hello and welcome back to more Cinderella Phenomenon Evermore. Wow, it's been so long. It's literally been so long since I've last launched this game, I'll be honest with you guys. So I was very surprised because I was like, I don't know what the hell happened the last episode, but we are only in chapter 2. So we're only in chapter 2. I think what happened last time, obviously we got started on Klaude's route. This is Klaude's route, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned it yet. But yeah, we're on our third guy. This is our third guy. And basically what happened is that we're in the swing of preparing for our engagement or our wedding, something to that nature, where we had to, there's a lot of collaborative ideas between us and Klaude, but for the most part it's like Klaude's inputs and ideas. He's very much a bulldozer, I will say. Seems like he's very much a bulldozer, but he doesn't mean any harm by it. It's just that he's very insistent on some of the stuff that he wants done in terms of this engagement. He's showing a little, there was some instances where he's showing a little bit of insecurity, especially when his brother is concerned. Like, he's always saying like he wants to be the center of our attention, is what mainly how he feels. But he feels like his brother, what's his name? Lance? I think his name is Lance. But yeah, his brother, he feels like his brother is like, you know, the show stealer whenever he shows up. And that kind of puts him in a little bit of a funk. And so we tried to reassure him, like, Klaude, you're my fiance. Of course I only have eyes for you. You don't have to feel that way. So we kind of settled on that. And then he gave us a gift, which was basically these hand-stitched or handmade plushies, I think. I remember that much. Like, handmade plushies of basically what had happened, his story, his fairy tale story or / his curse, which was Beauty and the Beast. So he gave us the princess plushie that represents us, and then he gave us this little, like, you know, this little beastie plushie, like a little werewolf or some sort, and he's like, oh, this is me. And we're like, oh, like, you know, like, is this how you see yourself, kind of thing? And we're kind of a little, you know, a little concerned. We're like what's going on, Klaude? Like, you know. So that's where we're at. I feel like that is just the surface level of what's really bubbling underneath with Klaude and his little personal issues. So I guess now here, diving into chapter 2, I guess we'll uncover a bit more of that. So let's get right into it. So there's the voice. So are we dreaming? No matter what I do, I can never make a difference. Is this us? Are we just unpacking all of our insecurities now? He died because of me. It's all my fault. They have so much gold, and yet they won't spare a single coin. Oh, what is this? If only I could be rid of him. All he does is take. The voices continued to pound inside my head like a trapped animal fighting in its cage. I become aware that I am in a dream, a nightmare. About what? The moment I realize, I begin to stir. I attempt to wake myself up, but stop when I hear another voice at the edge of my consciousness. How could they miss me? It's not as if they haven't already replaced me. What? The voice is familiar, and for a few moments, it is the only echo I hear in my mind. Whose voice is this? Is this Klaude's? I try to listen, but to no avail. The other voices soon press into my mind, making it impossible to hear anything else. I force myself awake. Are we having prophetic dreams now? Oh my god. My heart is beating erratically in my chest, and my head is pounding. I feel faint, even though I have just woken up. I glance slowly around my room with sleepy eyes, searching for Klaude, but he's not here. Ever since we became engaged, he has been sleeping in this room with me. The king was against it at first. Even I could not help but be surprised by Klaude's bold proposal. Yet, according to him, such a thing is traditional in Brugantia. Oh. Still, it took father many months to agree. In the end, he only relented with a month remaining to the wedding, saying that he found it more acceptable. Okay. It's pleasant when I wake up when I wake up and actually find him sleeping next to me, but I notice a small note on the bedside table and sigh. Oh, where have you run off to? He has another morning meeting with my father, it seems. I put a hand on to my forehead and close my eyes. And that nightmare. Ever since I became the Tenebrarian bearer 2 years ago, I have been having these nightmares. Parfait tells me that they become milder the more I learn to put them to the back of my mind. The voices usually are not so terrible. They are usually not so terrible. They drag me under like that. The last time the voices were this loud, it was because I was surrounded by negativity from somewhere close by. I sit up in my bed and turn to look at the beast plush that lies just beside my pillow. That negativity isn't coming from Klaude, right? I am uncertain whether or not it is the truth or my imagination, but even though he is, for the most part, his usual self, there are moments when he feels different. There are moments where his smile wavers and a tinge of melancholy comes into his eyes. The first time I saw it was when he gave me the beast plush. Yes. This was 6 days ago. Wow, 6 days have passed already? Oh my gosh. I've asked Klaude multiple times if something is amiss, and he always waves me off with a smile. I glance again around the room that we now share. Most of it has not changed, though Klaude has added some things, namely a piano that sits in one corner. Oh, he plays the piano? He insisted on putting it into the room when he first moved in, and I had no qualms about it, not when I know the playing calms him down. Besides, I do not mind watching him play. Sometimes when I am in the mood, I play with him. Oh, perhaps I should suggest playing together sometimes later today. I stifle a sigh as I slide off my bed and move to get dressed. A maid arrives to call me to breakfast and then leads me to the dining hall. Okay, guys, breakfast is livelier today on account of Lance, who sits beside Emmeline, listening to everything the royal family is discussing with a broad smile on his face. Even though the king and Klaude are both absent from the table, Lance talks enough for the both of them. In fact, ever since he arrived, Lance has somehow managed to put himself in the spotlight for every family meal. He does not start conversations on his own, but he is always quick to respond and usually with a smile. Oh yeah. Lance's arrival, I'm assuming a few days ago now because it's been 6 days, but like the last chapter, Lance's arrival was like a bit of a surprise for like all of us because I think we were not expecting him until like a month before the wedding, I think. But he arrived early. He seems inherently interested in everything that he hears. It is amazing to me that he manages to be so animated and attentive so early in the morning, right? Oh my god, how do you do it, girl? How do you do it? My thoughts are preoccupied during breakfast, hovering somewhere between Klaude's duties and my own. I listen while I eat, sometimes nodding along with the conversation. I have almost cleared my plate when Lance speaks directly to me, jolting me out of my reverie. Oh, have you ever spoken with the witches in Brugantian, Princess? I look up and blink, trying to piece together what he might have been saying. The witches from Brugantia? Klaude tells me that you interact with many witches because of your position as Tenebrarian bearer. Okay. He puts a hand on his chest and gives a slight bow. Even sitting down in front of a half-finished breakfast plate, he manages to make the motion look somehow dignified. I must stress that, as always, it is an honor to be in your presence. I cannot help but smile at him. Most of the time, being the Tenebrarian bearer is more an ordeal than a blessing, but I have learned to appreciate the responsibility. Please, Lance, there is no need for that. I shake my head. And no, I do not usually speak with Brugantian witches. I usually have no reason to, unless there is some kind of upset. From what I have heard though, the witches in Brugantia are content. There are still incidences involving witches in NGL every so often, but thankfully those incidences have been on the decline in the last year. It does seem that way, though I cannot say with absolute certainty because I do not have many witch acquaintances. Lance's eyes brighten. He seems to be lost in memory for a few moments, but then he speaks up. Many of the witches I do know have visited the castle to perform extraordinary magical feats. Mother has a few witch acquaintances that help her decorate her midnight parties with enchanted objects. Ooh. Midnight parties? Emmeline looks at Lance in wonder. Right, what is that? Mother's a bit of a night owl, so she throws many parties at night. She refers to her weekly evening celebrations as midnight balls. Wow. Even if I'm also a night owl, but no. My party is just like, I need to exfoliate, put on a mask, and then be moisturized and just chill. That sounds lovely. They are quite lovely, if not a bit overwhelming at times. But I suppose that's to be expected. Brugantia is known for its animated nightlife. It's sleepy when the sun is still up and lively when the moon rises. Wow, okay. The nightlife in Brugantia must be really poppin'. The balls are a particularly special nighttime celebration with renowned performers. One year, when Klaude and I were still young, my mother invited a witch whose specialty was magical gardening. Magical gardening? Wow. The witch conjured an entire field of colored roses. Yeah.
Wow.
Lance laughs. Suffice to say, it left quite the impression. I think we learned to appreciate roses a lot more after we were gifted an entire field of them. I wonder if such showcases are part of the reason Klaude loves roses so much. I think of the rose locket and smile. What sort of magic do you specialize in, Princess Anna? Lightning and thunder? A bit of ice? I look up at Lance, momentarily perplexed. Delore taught me shields and ice first, so I am probably most comfortable with those spells, but I do not consider them my specialty. Hannah is very good with ice. She made a sculpture of Klaude once for his birthday. Oh, oh did I? That's so sweet. Emmeline. Lance stares at me with clear impress. You made a sculpture out of ice? That's amazing. Yes, yeah, lol. Klaude thought it was amazing too, even if I could never get his features right. He teased me about it for a long time afterward, but he was definitely distressed when I set the sculpture outside in the sun so that it would melt. There's a broom here that she animated to clean all on its own too. No, Mr. Broom is entirely Delore and Parfait's fault. Yeah, that's not me. I did not want to bring it here at first, but in the end agreed to it because the thing wouldn't leave me alone when I visited the tavern. I brought it here and tweaked the enchantment on it so that it could sweep on its own. Now at least, Delore cannot renew the enchantment on it just to tease me. Rod looks up from his plate, eyebrows raised. Well, a little more than a year ago, Hannah created a light show in the dining hall. There was electricity bouncing everywhere. Oh, guys, that lightning spell was a difficult beginner's spell. It's nothing special. Lance laughs, looking delighted. So you are a master of all trades. I wouldn't expect anything less from the Tenebrarian Bearer. You flatter me too much. It is a shame that you can't come to Brugantia for a long enough time to meet the witches there. They speak of you fondly, even if they cannot see you often. Oh. They do? Most certainly. That is surprising, yeah. But perhaps I am making more progress with everyone than I first thought. That's good to hear. I think about what Lance said about my inability to visit Brugantia. Unfortunately, I cannot leave Angiel for extended periods of time when I am the Tenebrarian Bearer. I have to remain in the kingdom because I am tied to the crystal, but... My thoughts shift to Klaude. He has gone to visit Brugantia a number of times without me, but I know that he is sad I cannot join him. Oh, yeah. Because of my own position as Tenebrarian Bearer, I can never go to Brugantia and become a princess there. That is the reason my wedding engagement with Klaude will make him a crown prince of Angiel. It is also the reason Klaude was forced to step down as the crown prince of Brugantia and hand the title over to his brother. Lance breaks through my thoughts with a question. Might I be so bold as to ask for a demonstration? I would be happy to tell you more about Klaude if you would show me some of your magic. Oh. Ophelia, who had been quietly listening in on our conversation, suddenly stands from the table with a smile. Oh, I'll leave you all to it then, but please, no electric mishaps. No. I am more than capable of controlling my electricity. Ophelia just smiles at my embarrassment before excusing herself from the table. A magical demonstration, Him. Oh, here comes Claude. I am still considering what spell to cast when the doors to the dining hall swing open and Claude walks inside. He looks somehow downtrodden, his expression broody. Oh no, what's wrong? What is wrong? Karma, you came just in time for the princess's magic demonstration. Claude turns and looks at me quizzically, his expression softening. Then I have arrived at the perfect time. He keeps walking until he is standing behind my chair. I am relieved to see his initial stress completely disappeared from his face. Okay. I turn my gaze to the rest of the table. Everyone is looking at me expectantly. Maybe it's just the pressures of, becoming the crown prince soon is getting to him. Like it's kind of creeping up on him, and he's like, oh shit, it's getting real. Okay, a spell. Should I do something that I am comfortable with or something new? Cast an ice spell, attempt to create a rose. Maybe we should try a rose? I don't know. What's it called? Claude and thing like roses, right? And it's like a symbol of our love. I don't know. Let's try. Should we try? Are we good enough to try something new? Something a little spicy? Something spicier? Let's try. I think it's the gesture that counts. An ice spell would be safe, but perhaps I can cheer Claude up with something new. Right? I have made a lot of things before, but never a rose. Still, it cannot be that difficult, surely. I hold out my hands, cupping them in front of me to create a small platform. I squint down at the palm of my hands, concentrating the magic in my body into my fingers. The magic beneath my skin is a subtle thing, but 2 years of practice has made it easier to grip and shape it into something. I close my eyes briefly, imagining the shape of a rose. The first thing that comes to mind is the rose locket on Claude's chest. I attempt to draw the shape of it out into reality. If I can shape ice, this is nothing, right? I was saying. Hopefully it's something. Oh, did it work? Did it work? I open my eyes and stare down at the object in my hands. It's nice. It is indeed a rose, but much to my disgruntlement, it is flat. Extremely flat. Oh no, it's like a cookie-shaped. Its shape resembles the flat metallic shape of Claude's rose locket, only it is awkwardly balanced on a vibrant green stem. A single wiry leaf juts out from the stem. It's still very nice. I sigh as the rose caves in on itself. This is not impressive at all. Oh, come on. I will try again. But what? Hana, wait. Claude takes a step forward and then reaches past my shoulders. He touches his fingers to the petals of the delicate rose. Much to my relief, they do not fall. What? I think it's beautiful. Yeah, it looks nice. I agree with Emmeline. Claude smiles as he plucks the rose from my fingers. He holds the strange flattened flower up to his nose and smells it. It also smells far better than a normal rose. Aww. I'm inclined to agree, and a rose made out of magic is more special than a rose plucked from a rose bush. It's lovely, Hana. But it's so flat. It looks like it might fall off the stem at any moment. Now, it's like the gesture. It's the gesture, Hana. I shake my head slightly and attempt to snatch it away from Claude. He only holds it out of my reach with a mischievous smile. Fine, you can keep it then. Claude smiles. He holds the rose carefully in one hand, then leans down to kiss my cheek. I most certainly will. He keeps the rose clutched gently in between his fingers as Lance turns to me. That was amazing, Hana. Your magic is beautiful. And fierce. Yes, fierce, Queen. Sometimes too much so. I scoff. You make it sound like my magic is aggressive when it's not. I barely have any reason to use magic in the first place. Most of the time I only use it for convenience. And then I sometimes use it to make gifts for Claude, just to upstage him. Alright. Lance thanks me again for the demonstration before excusing himself. He and Emmeline rushes off for extremely important plans. Harad heaves out a great sigh before eventually following after them. I hope they are not trying too hard for my birthday celebration tomorrow. Oh no, it's not our engagement / wedding preparation, it's our birthday preps. But like either way, yes. I remain with Claude while he eats a late breakfast and then head out with him when he is done. Okay, I know that our time together will not last long. Claude has to take off to another lesson, and I have a meeting with my father. It is another discussion about the implementation of new laws in NGL. Before the two of us go on our own separate ways, Klaude turns to me with the rose still in his fingers. I'm going to return this to the room first. Ah yes, I am sure that when you see it later tonight, it will have caved in on itself. You have no faith in me, Hana. See, he's like the thoughts. It's the thoughts that counts. It is more that I have no faith in the rose. Klaude flicks my forehead, bringing me back into reality. Next time you do that, I'll freeze your pretty eyelashes. Klaude bats his eyelashes at me and chuckles. I wouldn't mind. It would be a nice change in aesthetic, I think. He's so cheeky. He plants a quick kiss on my forehead. Until we next reconvene, my love. Okay, love. Okay, bye. Bye. After a quick exchange of farewells, we separate and go our own ways. The day turns out to be busier than I had anticipated, except for a short hour break in between. I barely see Klaude. He manages to give me his gift for the day in between our responsibilities. Oh yes, Klaude has a thing where he just likes to gift us gifts every single day up until our birthday, and they just get more and more kind of ridiculous. So it is a feat for the eyes, a simple yet elegant blue dress decorated with lilies. Ooh, aw, that's so cute. Klaude is good at selecting dresses, given his prior experiences with them. The king always seems impressed when I tell him that Klaude helps me compile my wardrobe. Yes, get you a man who knows how to dress. That's right, I know that's right. I know I will have to wear this dress sometime soon as well. This thought hangs in my mind as I continue about my business. Why not wear it for your birthday? You know, your birthday dinner. The rest of the day passes in a blur. Okay. Alright, are we back? Oh yeah, it's nighttime. Even the evening moves quickly. I have enough time to sit down to dinner with my family before I have a meeting with a witch from town. Oh my god, so many meetings. So many meetings. Can we just do this through Zoom? Like, you know, this world's Zoom call? Can we just do that? Can we just do this through email? By the time I am finally able to head back to my room, it is 10 past 9. My body feels incredibly heavy, and all I want to do is crash onto my bed. Oh man, girl, I feel you. I have just turned the bend in the corner when I hear soft music coming through the halls. I stop to listen. Oh, is it Klaude? Is he playing the piano? Klaude must be playing the piano. Strange. He usually does not play if I am not there to play with or watch him. As I walk the rest of the way to my bedroom, then push open the door quietly so as to not disturb Klaude. I can't really hear it though. Hold on. Sometimes I have the volume down a little too much, but then other times the music just likes to skyrocket into my ears. Aww. The music wafts out of the room like a gentle breeze. The minute I step inside, I see Klaude at the piano, fingers gliding across the keys to create the beautiful sounds emanating from the instrument. How did we manage to... We must have a really big room. Jeez. He is so immersed in his music that he does not notice when I step inside and shut the door behind me. He looks solemn yet at peace, his eyebrows drawn in concentration as he focuses on the keys. Even as I watch, the rigidness of his expression begins to crumble away into a gentle smile. Oh, it's a very nice song. This song, it is beautiful. Will I break his concentration if I move to sit beside him? Oh, join him at the piano, patiently wait for the song to end. I want to wait patient. Let him have his little solo concert, okay? Let him have his moment. I think I would like to hear the song through to its denouement. I will wait. Yes. I situate myself by the door so I can give myself a better vantage point. Klaude continues to play for a long time, his fingers effortlessly gliding across the keys. It sounds very beautiful. Oh my gosh. Mozart. Mozart who? I only know Klaude. I can tell by the way he stares at the keyboard that he is lost in the music and he does not realize that I am there. It's okay. It is only when his eyes begin to wander to the music sheet in front of him that he loses focus and notices me. At first there is surprise on his face, and then a gentle smile. Much to my relief, he does not stop playing. Yeah. His eyes stray from me again as he continues to study the music sheet. Seeing him so involved in the music makes my heart lighter. Whatever melancholy I sensed from him before is gone when he plays. This time is important to him. I wouldn't want to end it abruptly. Exactly. Just let him have his moment. You're so quiet, Hana. Starstruck by my playing, are we? Kinda. Kinda. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Though I believe my skill at the piano is equal to yours. Oh, is that so? Yeah, why not we do a little bit of heart and soul? Claude chuckles as he pulls his hands away from the piano keys. Okay, yeah. I'm just teasing. I think you're the better player. The music stops abruptly and the room is awash in a serene silence. I consider moving to sit beside Claude, but then he has already scooted to the edge of the seat. He sets his arm down on the piano and angles his head slightly, smiling mischievously. What? I feel like a criminal caught in the middle of a crime. No, a criminal? Why? Playing without an audience always makes me feel that way, especially when my audience pretends to be invisible. But I was just enjoying the moment. I didn't want to interrupt you. I didn't want to disturb your practice, exactly. I look at him curious. I haven't heard this song before. I wanted to see if I recognized it, but it was unfamiliar. I wonder if this is a song he learned back in Brugantia? What song were you playing? I wonder. Oh, certainly not this one. Should I turn the music down? I think it's okay. I think it's okay, we can keep it at this level. Is it really necessary to keep it a secret? This song wasn't meant to be a surprise for tomorrow, was it? I mean, I can act surprised. It's okay. I can act surprised, you know, like I heard it for the first time. Don't worry about it. Claude just looks at me with lips curved into a cat-like smile. Okay, maybe just turn out just a wee bit. I can't really tell because my headphones are I think they're kind of broken, but it's okay. Yeah, Claude just looks at me with his lips curved into a cat-like smile. I'm going to assume that is a yes. Oh. I move to sit down on the edge of my bed. If you're in here playing, I am assuming that you are done for the day? Claude lets out a sigh as he leans dramatically back on the piano, one arm draped across its surface, the other one resting on his forehead. I'm afraid the night still has yet more excitement for me. Oh, you're leaving again? Is it a meeting with father or assignment from your history tutor? Claude scoffs at me. I'll have you know I'm on top of all my assignments. I am just as excellent a pupil as I am an instructor. Your ego knows no bounds. It's okay. It's confidence, love. Confidence. Okay. Claude sighs as he stands up and stretches. Afterwards, he turns to look at me. I'm afraid I have certain plans for tomorrow that I must check on. Plans for the birthday party? You really don't need to work so hard for me, Claude, right? It's just like... Much to my surprise, Claude's smile slips, his expression fading into something more somber. I will always work hard for you, Hana. Oh, stop. I would do anything for you. That will never change even if I cannot be... What? He stops suddenly, his lips sealed. What? You cannot be what? Yeah. Claude looks at me, startled for a few moments. He steps back toward the door, then abruptly he begins to laugh. Never mind me. A tired man says a lot of peculiar things. Babe. When he smiles, the look is once again melancholy. It is a sad smile. Claude, are you okay? Don't tell me that, you know, you're gonna say like even if I cannot be like the man of your dreams or some shit like that, because I don't care about that shit, okay? Listen, you are everything that I dream and hope for. And you don't need to know about. You don't need to worry about that, okay? Like, why are you fretting? Why are you fretting so much? I'm marrying you, aren't I? Claude, are you okay? Yes, Hana. I'm just a little tired. Don't look at me like that. I'll be fine come tomorrow morning. Oh. Claude, you're not hiding anything from me, right? You're being honest with me, right? He stops in front of the door, hand on the knob. Yes, darling? I love you. You remember that we promised there would be no secrets between us, right? I would never forget a promise I made with you, Hana. He says the words with enough conviction that I cannot help but be relieved. This is just a passing stress, I promise. Okay. I nod my head, relenting. Now I regret to say it, but I'll be a little late tonight, so you don't need to wait up for me. He blows me a kiss. I love you, Hana. Good night. Okay. Good night, Claude. He steps out through the door and closes it behind him. Once he is gone, I fall back down on my bed, my eyelids fluttering closed. My body welcomes the softness of the sheets and the comfort of my pillows. I wonder if there's some way to figure out why Klaude looks so sad. Someone that could tell me how to help him when he's like this. The question whirls around in my mind for a while, but it is not long before the desire to sleep overwhelms my worry. Not long after I close my eyes, I find myself drifting away into slumber. Okay, I guess... Okay... Oh, whoa, it's not the end of the chapter, I guess. Whoa. When I next wake, my bedroom is dark and quiet. The first thing I am aware of is my heart, which is beating painfully against my chest. Ugh, am I having a heart attack? I'm having a stroke. Another nightmare. Oh. I put a hand to my forehead as I glance around my room. I notice that Klaude is lying beside me undisturbed. The gentle rise and fall of his chest, along with his soft breathing, tells me that he is asleep. I find the clock in my room and stifle a sigh. Why? It is just past midnight. I have no idea how long Klaude has been asleep, and I do not want to wake him. Sometimes when the nightmares are terrible, I end up waking Klaude to discuss them with him. At other times, when I am sure he needs to rest, I do my best to forget the nightmares on my own. I could use some fresh air. Okay. I quietly slide out of the bed and make my way toward the door. I glance over my shoulder at Klaude one last time before quietly stepping outside and shutting the door behind me. The palace corridors are quiet at night, save for the muted footsteps of the patrolling knights. At first, I am at a loss for what to do with myself. Is there a garden we can visit and just sit there forlornly, you know? I could sit in the garden, or I could walk through the hallways until the voices fade. I mean, that's just one of the two things you do as part of the royal family, and in terms of like the castle setting, you just find yourself a garden. My legs begin to move on their own. Every step sends me down the hallway and closer to a branching corridor. I am not entirely sure where I am heading, but I tell all the knights I meet on my way that I am only wandering for some peace of mind. I have just moved into the conjoined corridor when I see a familiar face. Oh, who's that? Oh, Jurian. Princess? What's up? Jurian stops in front of me, her eyebrows drawn together in a clearly anxious expression. Oh. Good evening, Jurian. She said, why are you out so late? Good evening, Your Highness. Couldn't sleep? Yeah. It has been a restless night. Are you still working? For a little while longer, yes. You want to talk? And what about you? Just taking a midnight stroll? Yeah. I bumped into Jurian quite a few times on these aimless night strolls, and she always worries. I was. There's no cause for concern. You say that, Princess, but any royals' actions are a concern to us knights, and now I have to keep my eyes out for both you and the prince. The prince? Rod is also up? Oh, why? Oh no, Prince Lance of Brugantia. He was out here earlier murmuring to himself. Oh. That is a little strange. Yeah, that is a little strange. I saw him head into the dining hall last. I sent a few knights over that way just in case. Okay. Perhaps he just left his room for a midnight snack? Klaude used to be up at midnight all the time when he first came here. It sounds like typical Brugantian lifestyle. Yeah, night owls, I guess. Anyway, if you need anything from me, I'll be on patrol for a little while longer. Don't hesitate to call on me, Princess. Okay. I will not. Thank you, Jurian. Jurian turns to walk away, but then pauses to glance over her shoulder. Oh, and Princess? Yes. I hope we all get to practice together again soon. Yes, I hope so too. It has been a long time since all four of us have been able to participate in mock battles. Jurian flashes me a small smile before she strides away from me to continue her patrol. If Lance is up right now, perhaps I should go see him, right? Maybe I should get some advice on like how to better help Klaude. Without another thought, I begin to make my way to the dining hall. Hopefully, Klaude doesn't wake up in the middle of the night and just finds us together. He'd be like a little upset about that. But why should he be, you know? Like, Klaude, please, baby, like... Again, who am I marrying? You, not him, not your brother. Sure enough, the first thing I notice when I step into the dining hall is Lance, who is sitting at the head of the table, his hands clasped as if in prayer. He is murmuring something beneath his breath. Maybe he is praying. Lance? Ugh, oh god. Lance glances up at me, bewildered. Wow, that's two words side by side that should not be together. His shock almost makes me feel guilty. Did I interrupt something? No, not at all. Just my talk with Jesus. He lets out a deep sigh, his shoulders sagging slightly. A weight seems to fall off of them as he does so, and when he looks up, he once again exudes his usual cheer. Hey man, you don't have to be super cheerful around me, you can just be real. Just be, like, relax. I was wandering around the palace when I noticed the dining hall was empty. I wanted to sit down for a few moments to practice a speech, but... Oh, a speech, okay. He looks down at the table. The downcast expression takes me by surprise, as it is very uncharacteristic of the usually very charismatic Lance. Sometimes I get so caught up in memorizing that I forget about everything around me. I'm sorry. No, it's fine. There's no need to apologize. But you were practicing a speech? For whom? For Emmeline? For the king? You know, in terms of you wanting her hand in marriage? Wanting to court her? It's fine. You do not need to speak about it if you do not want to. I'm about to head out again when Lance calls my name, making me stop. Have you ever given a direct speech to the people, princess? Maybe, yes. Before, I used to shun people. I disliked going anywhere near them. Since breaking my curse, however, I have learned to open up to the townfolk. The king has me address them directly on our monthly rides out to town. I mean, I unfortunately still dislike people. So I can't really relate to that, but you know, I'll put up with them. Of course. I see. If you are asking me that question, I am assuming that it is because you are practicing a speech for a big audience. Oh, is it the whole... I'm gonna take a guess or a stab here. He's worried about, you know, what, his role in becoming the now crown prince. Because, you know, again, since Klaude is marrying us in Angiel, yeah, he can't be the crown prince of Brugantia. Now the pressure is on Lance. Lance smiles a little half-heartedly. I was. The moment Klaude became engaged to you, I became next in line for the Brugantian throne. Yep, I knew it. Father has been waiting for me to give a speech officially announcing myself as Brugantia's crown prince. Oh, the moment Klaude asked for my hand in marriage and he had to relinquish his position as the crown prince of Brugantia. It never occurred to me that Lance would have to take over something he was unprepared for. Right? Imagining just like chilling and living your life, just cruising, you know, you got like... You know, you're rich, you're young, you got all the time in the world, maybe a few studies, world studies here and there, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, by the way, now you're in line to rule a whole country. It's like, oh, thanks. And how is the speech going? Lance sighs. I'd rather be cruising, you know, is what I'm saying. I'd rather just live the high life of just cruising and not have to worry too much about big responsibilities. Terribly, I die a slow death in front of large crowds. Oh no! Klaude has always been better at speeches than I have. I prefer speaking to people one-on-one. Yeah, it does seem that way. Large crowds are terrifying, I feel. He has stage fright? Oh yes, he does. I no doubt you both have your own strengths. Talking to so many people at once requires practice. Exactly. Right. Lance still looks disheartened. The look on his face is so similar to Klaude's that I cannot help the small stab in my heart. Oh. Offer to help Lance, suggest he go to Klaude for help. I feel like he should go to Klaude. Number one, because he's his brother. And number two, like, Klaude has this perception that Lance is, like, you know, perfect. Like, everybody loves him. He has, like, again, like, he steals the spotlight every single time he walks into a room, sort of thing, you know? So, like, to be a little bit more vulnerable with him, I feel like Klaude can, like, see him in a more, like, you know, in a new light, in a sort of softer light, even though there are siblings. Yeah, ask Klaude. Go ask Klaude. You said Klaude is better at spotlights, right? Yeah, and he's the one who's better at giving speeches too. Ask him. Like, I don't like doing it just because I do it. Just doesn't mean I like it. And I'm good at it. Then he should be able to help you. The two of you are brothers. He knows you better than anyone else. Exactly. Even though Klaude gets jealous of Lance frequently, the two of them are still brothers. I know Klaude loves him, right? And Klaude's overwhelming confidence allows him to speak to crowds with ease. Most people find him very charismatic. Yeah. Hasn't Klaude been really busy recently? I wouldn't want to take away any of the free time he has with you. Oh, that's true, but like still, like... Lance. Lance. Don't avoid it. Don't make excuses. Lance has a forlorn look in his eyes. He stares past me at the door, his eyebrows furrowed. Like, llama. I'm pulling out that card. Like, it doesn't matter. Even if you tell me, like, oh, like, Claude's busy and like I don't want to take up his free time for you. But then it's like if I help, then it's like either way you take up my time from spending with him, you know? Like so it doesn't really matter. Just go to him. Llama. He flushes a crimson red that has me smiling despite myself. He and Claude are similar in the strangest ways, right? You may as well ask Claude. I wouldn't mind sitting in during your practices if time with me was ever a problem. Yeah. Besides, I already get ample time with Claude, despite what he might say. Most of the time, he's just needlessly dramatic. Yes. Though I do have to agree that we have both been pressed for time this week. Hopefully things will settle down after tomorrow's celebration. Yeah. I will try asking him then. Though say it more decisively. You will ask him. I need you to change the way you talk and to be more assertive. Lance laughs a little sheepishly. Then he clears his throat and speaks in a voice filled with conviction. Yes, I need more conviction from you. I promise that I will ask him. Good. Oh, Lance looks at me wide-eyed. What is it? It's past midnight, isn't it? I had almost forgotten. What? Forgotten? To wish you a happy birthday. Oh, today is my birthday. Oh, you're right. The smile Lance gives me is so shiny it almost sparkles. I'm surprised there's no... Oh, there it is. I was gonna say, where's my sparkle animation? A very blessed happy birthday to you, Hana. May both your nights and your days be filled with endless cheer and good company. Thank you. Thank you, Lance. That's very sweet of you. If Claude knew Lance was the first to wish me a happy birthday, he would cry. Oh no, this is secret. The thought makes me smirk. My conversation with Lance is cut short after that when at one point, instead of responding to him with words, I respond with an unintended yawn. I will go back to sleep now. I excuse myself first that night, relieved that my conversation with Lance has helped clear the nightmares from my mind. Okay, back we go. Back to our room. I am sure that Lance will be able to solve his problems with help. As for my problems... Maybe I just need to take some melatonin, I don't know. Like again, she was taking some sort of like potion, quote-unquote potion that would help her sleep. I pushed the thought of Claude's melancholy smile from my mind. For now, it is better not to think about it. Claude will want me to enjoy my birthday celebration without worrying about him. So for now, I will set aside these worries. I will walk back to my room feeling a lot lighter than I had when I first left it. Okay. Is that it? Is that the chapter? Yes, it is. Chapter 3, Lilies and Roses? Yes? Did that say roses or roses? I have no idea. Anyways, we're gonna leave it here as per usual. We are going to go chapter by chapter with this Let's Play. So, yeah. So there's that. That was productive, I guess. A little bit. We still haven't really figured out too much about Claude's insecurity / problems other than what we kind of already know from previous chapters in this one. But yeah, I guess again we have 6 chapters to go, so I'm sure we will eventually get the bigger picture of it. We'll get everything. But anyways, but for now, if you want to subscribe and turn on the notification bell on my channel, that way you will know when's the next time I'm going to upload anything for that matter, because if you already don't know, or I will reiterate once again like I always do, I am on a semi-hiatus on this channel because due to scheduling stuff and work schedules, so I don't really know. It's very like unpredictable for me, so I really don't know when I would get opportunities to sit down, record, and then therefore upload for you guys. So even if you do ask me when's the next time I'm going to upload in terms of, you know, next week, this week afterwards, or you know, I might go on to not upload anything for 3 weeks even, I can't really give you a sure answer. So the best way to know is to just turn on the notification bell or subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, I am still active on the channel itself, so any other comments you will put under any of my videos and any other questions you may ask, I will try my best to answer them. Yeah, otherwise, thank you so much for enjoying this Let's Play with me or watching this episode, and, you know, continuing to be understanding. And yeah, I will see you all next time in whatever I choose to put out. But for now, bye!